Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, and a happy new year to each and every one of us once again. I welcome you to this new year, and I believe this year is going to be an amazing year for each and every one of us in terms of not just our trading now, not just our trading, but in our lives. I don't know what else you do in your workplace, in your family, what else that you need breakthrough in, what the other areas you need breakthrough in. It's going to be an amazing year. You're going to have breakthroughs in those areas as well. If you need a breakthrough in the area of your relationship with your people, maybe you're not married yet, want to get married, you don't have a relationship with some of your family members, you need it, your maybe it's finances, your work, you know, every one of those areas you would experience breakthroughs, and also most especially in this forex, you know, you would experience breakthrough as well. No, now I'm not saying that if you're just joining, then that you're gonna see what's it called now, you're gonna see 100% increase on your investments. It's not gonna happen like that. It's that you can't break principle. You have to put in the work. You still have to put in the work. But what you're gonna experience is that you're gonna see progress. You're going to see experience progress as you put in the work. You will see progress. Progress will happen. You would see God will give you wisdom to be able to take the right decisions and not to make mistakes. And where it takes other people, years, to understand this, you will find out that for you, it will not take you that long before you start having an understanding of how this works, starting to understand the strategies, starting to be able to manage your emotions and psychology. So you see things work out together for your good. So that is what I pray for each and every one of you. You will not struggle in this industry where other people are struggling. You will not struggle. You will find things not difficult for you as long as you're willing to put in the work. Remember, you have to sow before you can reap. You have to cast your bread upon the waters, and after many days it will come back to you. So you have to burn the midnight candle. You have to spend the time to put in the work, so it will, so that they can bless the work of your hand. Remember what always happens in the Bible. Every time God wants to bless someone, or maybe a man of God wants to bless someone, he would always say, "What do you have in your hand?" Like the story of the 5 loaves of bread and 2 fish. What happened? There had to be a provision for them to be able to Jesus to be able to multiply, so as to feed the 5,000. The same thing with Moses and the burning bush. For God to be able to send Moses needed to have something. So he asked him, "What do you have in your hand?" So he had a rod. The same thing when Elijah was gonna bless that woman that had issue that had death issue. What happened? He said, "What do you have at home?" That multiply the oil for her. So that's the same thing. You always have to have something in your hand so that he can find something to bless. You can't come to God with an empty hand, to be blessed. There has to be a seed. So it's the same way in this forex. You have to have something. What are you doing? What are you doing every day? What are you doing every morning? What are you doing? Are you just looking at the charts, or maybe spending time doing every other thing and not putting time to study, to understand? It says, scripture says, study to show yourself approved. So you need to study, you need to put in the work, you need to put in the hours, so as to be able to understand how this thing works. So it will give you wisdom to be able to know how to manage it. Yep. So I pray this year is going to be an amazing year for each and every one of us. But we have to do the work. We have to do the work. We can't keep running from pillar to post, running from one signal group to another signal group, running from one strategy to another strategy. See, the most important thing that you have, the one of the most powerful thing that a human being can have, is what they call focus. You have to be focused. If you're doing too many things, a whole lot of things at the same time, you're gonna lose track. You're not gonna get it. You're not going to get it. You have to be focused. Yeah, if you want to pick up one or two strategies, one, two, three strategies that you want to practice so that you can understand like the back of your hand, then just spend time doing that. If you want to pick one or two, three platforms that you want to be in, that you want to concentrate and learn things from, then, but you can't be everywhere. Somebody's sending this strategy, you're running after that. You see this person posting this strategy, you're running after that. This person posting this stat, you're running after. You can't be everywhere, can't do everything. There are thousands of strategists out there in the market, in this industry. There are so many of them, so many indicators. We can't possibly use every one of them. Just stick to one or two or three at maximum that you want to use as confluence to work with. And then you will see how you will improve. Even you see, me, you don't see any indicator on my charts. I trade naked forex. I look at supply, I look at demand. Most times I don't even look at supply and demand that much, but I look at my patterns. So my head and shoulder, my inverted head and shoulder, my flags, and my ascending wedge, descending wedge, my support and resistance level, break, retest, and drop. Those are the major things that I look at the naked forex. That is all I do. And for the what's it called now, for the pairs, yes, I, as an educator, I have to be able to understand, analyze all of the pairs for you guys' sake, but I can't possibly trade every one of those pairs. So I can't jump from every pair to every pair. Everyone is talking about U3 USD right now, the Dow Jones what's it called, currency right now. Everybody index, sorry, everybody's running after that. You can't possibly do everything. Some people are running after gold, you're running after gold. People are running after crypto, you're running after crypto. Yes, it's all right to adopt all of these currencies, but at the same time, you have to be able to know a few of them that you want to use, want to trade, that you can master. So when you master those ones, then you move on to the next few ones. But don't try to trade everything, because you're just gonna shoot yourself in the foot. Focus, like I said, is one of the most powerful weapons that a human being can have. If you have focus in this industry, you're gonna increase your potential for winning in this industry. So I thought I should just throw that out. And something else I also want to share with us, a few wisdom, a few nuggets. I know I already shared some this thing in the library I think last year, February, in the library. So just you can just go there. I think some of these nuggets are there. Now, when it comes to cutting your losses, you have to learn to cut your losses early enough. It is not a strategy for you to be adding positions to your losses. You're losing in a trade, then but you keep adding positions to it with the hope that when it comes back it will win more. No, you can never do that. You should never do that, because that's not a good strategy to you. What happens if it doesn't ever come back, if that trade doesn't come back to profit? So you need to learn how to cut your losses short. Don't assume that it's going. If you did an analysis and it's not going the way you expect it to go, just cut it short and then move on to the next trade, unless you have a stop loss. If you have a stop loss in place, then by all means, it's all, because before you even enter a trade, you should know what you're about to lose, what you're prepared to lose in the market if the trade doesn't go in your favor. So that already settles that issue of cutting your losses short. You should already know what you want to lose before you take a trade. It is not wisdom for you to start a business without understanding what the business is. What am I going to be spending? What is going to be, how much am I going to be losing in the first year? How much am I going to use? You have to have a business plan. How much am I going to be making in the first year? How much am I going to be losing in the first year? Is there going to be a potential for me to make money, a potential for me to lose money? You don't just throw your money into something that you do not understand. So that's why I say, before you take a trade, make sure you already know where you're going to get out of the market, and if it doesn't go your way, cut your losses short, or make sure you use your stop loss so as to protect your account. Most important thing, you must always protect your account at all times. Yeah. Then confirm your judgment before you put a larger lot size position in. Maybe you wanted to compound your position. Don't put lot sizes, large lot sizes in on your negative trades. You can afford to put large lot sizes in when the thing is going in your favor, but know when to put them in. Don't just jump in because you see it move 10 pips, you throw in a standard in. Look for the different positions. You know how I trade. Always look for what's it called now, the higher highs and higher lows and all of those levels where price comes back to the place that it's been before. Those are key levels where I know I can increase my positions. For instance, this is a place now. I entered at this position. Let's say I entered somewhere around here. Let's just say I entered somewhere around here. Or I entered a position somewhere around here. So price goes back. I see that I got to this level and it dropped. I have a high here. I have something like this here, a high here already. Yep. So now what am I going to do? I enter at this position. It's going, it gets to this place. I have my high, hasn't broken this level yet. It came down. So what is going to happen? I'm going to wait for price to break that level. When price breaks that level, I'm going to watch that level for my next position. See that? So if price comes back to test that level, that is where I take my next trade. So I have one here that I entered, then it got to that level and dropped. If it breaks that level and comes back into it, I'm going to take my trade there again. You see that now? So at that level, what do? I put my next position again, and I let price to go. Price got to that level. What did it do? It bounced. It got at this, got to this level and stopped and started coming down. I put a pen to it. So when price comes back to that level, what am I going to do? I'm going to take another position, which is what happened here. Yep. So I took one position here. I took the second position here. I took my third position. Now my third position is still here. Yeah. So I allow price to move. Price move to this level, and I wait for price to break it and retest it for me to take my next position. So when it got here, it pretty much just came back. I have my position here. I have this position here. I haven't moved this one. So at this point, what happened? I may have put my position here, but always remember my stop loss is still in place. Now, when I put my position, I put my stop loss, but for some reason, it came back and it hit my stop loss out of my position. So that position, this is first, second, third. My fourth position has been taken out in a loss. Let's just say, put it that way. But I'm still in my first, second, and third position. Look at this. So what you can do for me to trade this, wisdom would be either take out this position in profit or take out half of it, take out half of this or something or whatever, so that you can have just a few pips in remaining. Right now, what I'm seeing is that possibility that this might be because it's not making, it made this high, it's not making higher highs. Instead, what is it doing? It's acting as if it's returning. Yep. So this time around, I can start looking for my sales, or I can start looking for my sales and closing out all of these other positions. Because I feel the market is turning back. It broke all my highs. All my previous lows here. So right now it's coming in to break this low. So what am I going to do? I'm taking out all my positions. So that is how you trade. You look for the previous highs. If price breaks it and retests it, you take your position. Previous high, price breaks it and retests, you take your position. Previous high, price broke it, came back and broke it, but then it didn't continue to the upside. It pretty much hit your stop loss. Then you let it go and take all of your other positions. So right now, this is a trade that we're looking to trade again. Look at what I said before. I saw it to be a head and shoulder, turning back. And normally, remember what head and shoulders are? They are a reversal pattern. So maybe this is trying to reverse itself. So if it's broken out now, a retest is what we're anticipating now. So that retest will do that, and then we can take a trade down to the next level at this point. So just know when to increase your position. Don't just jump in because you think it's going your way and you throw a standard loss size into it. Now you have to understand the principle of compounding. Einstein said is the ninth wonder, is it the eighth wonder of the world? Compounding is the eighth wonder or the ninth wonder of the world, meaning you have to learn the principle of compounding. Now a day you make one pound, tomorrow you make £2, the next day you make £3. By the end of the year, you will realize that you've made much more. Your money will grow, into something you never even imagined that was possible. If we were trying to hit the home run from your first trade. So pick up that compounding sheet that I shared with each and every one of us, or go to that website, for forex compounding website, where that I shared with us, and look at how you can compound your positions. So look at what you have to do every day, because whatever you do every day adds up. If you make £10 every day, maybe make £10 a day. Tomorrow your next trade you increase is £11. The next day £12. It adds up. Before you know it, your account has grown to 100,000, 200,000. It's actually possible. It's really, really possible. So let's all try to see if you can adopt compounding into our trading. Now, if you like the what's it called now, the rush of trading every day, absolutely fine. You can have more than one account, like I do. You can have 3 accounts. One account you can do the compounding. The other account you can do your daily trading. Just keep trading. Do whatever you want to trade. Trade as minimal as you want to trade anyway. Make sure that you use the right strategy to trade as you want to. Another account you have, you can use that for your compounding, and just let it grow. And one of the most important things that a trader can have is discipline. Discipline. You have to have discipline. If you're not disciplined, you're just going to be jumping in and out of the market. You won't let your winning run. You will let your losing trades run. You have to know when to when to let go, and you have to also know when to sit on your hand. Just watch the market. Now, this is how I trade, you guys. Some of us really only look at the 15 minutes and the 1 hour charts and make our decisions based on that. Maybe you see something like this, maybe you come somewhere here, this is what you're looking at. You're saying, okay, this is probably coming, this is dropping. Okay, maybe let's just say something, come here. It said the trend is a downtrend. From just looking at this, the trend is a downtrend. Now it's dropping massively. Look at the massive candle that is. No, because if you come to your daily or your H4, this is all you're seeing. This is just one candle. That massive candle you saw, just a blip, wasn't really that great. And plus, again, this is not a downtrend. This is a sideways movement. If you're looking at it on the higher time frame. Yep. So you shouldn't just look at your higher time frames are your bedside view. They just show you what is happening on the higher time frame on your chart, what is really, 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 really happening. So you can know where you are in the market. Now, if I look at this, I already know that okay, this is probably coming down. This went up, this has gotten to this level, and it's probably going, retracing now, because there's no other thing on the left right here apart from this. When it got here, what happened? It dropped. So maybe that's the same thing that's happening. One other thing that I noticed here was the fact that this might be a head and shoulder. When price got here, what did it do? It dropped, got to that same place again. So it might be dropping. That's a second confirmation. So this might actually be a head and shoulder that's happening. So what I'm waiting for, like I told you guys, is waiting for this to retest that level and continue. So I wouldn't jump in on this when I'm seeing this candle. I wouldn't just say, okay, it's time to. This is a very beautiful engulfing candle, by the way. That's a bearish engulfing candle. So what are we waiting for? If you were the one that you like to trade the close of engulfing candle, this would have been your entry. But if you're like me, that sometimes have to wait for a retest or a pullback of that engulfing candle, I will look for my entry somewhere around here. So my entry will be somewhere around here. So this is it. This is my entry could be somewhere around here, or here. I can even put it here, to see what the market is going to do. Most times you will see that this will come all the way back to, let me use my alternate. This will come all the way back to this level before continuing to the downside. So which is what we are waiting for right now. Sometimes it may just come back to this place, just the previous low that it's been to before continuing. So but you can do something. You can set 2 sell limits, or you can do 2 things apart from setting 2 sell limits. If it gets to this level, you can enter the position, or you can just enter the position by market, because then you would have how many pips of drawdown if it's going to give you a drawdown anyway. So you have just 5 pips. That's 2, so that just in case it doesn't get all the way here, but your stop loss would be all the way up here. Yep, your stop loss will be here. So it means either way, you're still in the win. But if you also put sell limit here, if you want to maybe want to take it, put a 0.1 lot size just to be able to be on the safe side, just in case you know, can still do that. So put entered market here, put the sell limit here. That is how I trade, guys. That is how I trade. Sometimes you notice that you see my entries are spot on. I like you would think, this guy really knows, you know, how to enter the market. Most of the time, it's just sell limits, buy limits. That's how I enter my market. Sell limits and buy limits. So where I know that price is coming by, that when it just comes in, it takes me, enters me at the right place. You know, that's how I trade, guys. That's how I trade, guys. So I advise each and every one of us, make it a point of duty to always look at the higher time frame. Don't just let me clear this. Don't just take trades from just looking at the 15 minutes or the 1 hour time frame. Look at the global picture. Look at the bird's eye view of that trade that you're about to take. That way you'll be able to know when to get out of the market or when to stay in. I looked at this trade. Yeah, that's one of the trade. Another one is this trade. I'd seen the best eye view of this trade. I'm looking at this trade from this higher time frame. I'm looking at this. This is what I'm looking at. So everything I'm doing is on this trade. So I'm expecting this to go all the way up here before it begins to drop. That is my bias. Do I have a reason why I have that bias? Yes, because if I'm looking at it from the monthly, I looked at this supply zone and I looked at this demand zone. So this supply zone, when price got into it, drop. When price got into it, touch that zone again, it dropped. So I'm expecting price to go back to that supply zone. That's why I have that. And it always drops back to this demand zone. It dropped back to this demand zone. That's why you see me, I came back to this demand zone. You see that? So I'm waiting price to go back to that supply zone, to touch that zone and then continue to drop. Am I sure it's going to get all the way up there? No, but that's why I'm analyzing, you know. So if you look at what I'm doing, see, but before then, I also had this channel building up. So which is also like a confluence for me, because price, every time price got here, it dropped to this level, it got up, it dropped, got up, dropped. So I'm expecting it to also go back up, which is in confluence with the fact that I know price is going back to the supply zone. Yep. So that's why you see that chart there. That way, if I drop down to my smaller time frame, everything I do from here is gonna tell me that I'm supposed to be buying this market. Now, I put this here together because I saw that consolidation happening. Now, what does that tell me? That means that if I see price break this level out totally, now look at this. This was, if I took, yeah, taking this trade now, see what would have happened. I probably wouldn't have won big. I would have probably won big if I decided to make my take my winning somewhere around here, previous low here. I would have just a little bit of winning, you know. But whatever I do at this level, you know, just always has, if I'm selling this market, I'm selling it gently. I'm not selling it with a large lot size, because I know that right now price is supposed to keep going up. If I'm selling, I'm just looking for counter trend trading, just to take 10 pips or thereabout and get out. So maybe some people that will sell this probably will still win, because they probably might take 10 pips out, or if not more than, you know, they might just sell this. Yeah, see, they can say take 20 pips out. That's just what I'm looking for. I'm not looking for the kill, because on the higher time frame, this is what I'm waiting for. My big sell will come when price gets to this level, you know. So that's why you look at your higher time frame to ensure that you see the big picture. Same with this trade that we're looking at. You know, this one, you already know what I was looking at on this one. This one, I was waiting for this to come all the way to this supply zone here and start dropping. You know, if that happens, if it happens, let me see on my higher time from my monthly, same thing, supply demand. So it gets to this supply and start dropping. Now, this is what I'm waiting for. This was one bias. Another bias was the one I had here. Where's that end card? Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? I can't find it now. I can't find it. Another bias was this what's it called? This cipher pattern. That if at all it breaks above this level, then it's gonna get to that 78.6 and then continue to drop. If that doesn't happen, then it will just terminate. And then from this supply zone, I'll start seeing my downside. You know, So which is what it is. Analysis is what it is. Just analyze the market and see the different scenarios that you can have. Now, that would help me so that when I come to my smaller time frame, I see these rejections all over the place. And because I built this here, I'm saying that if price breaks this level, it's coming down, which is exactly what I'm seeing right now. So if I come to this higher time frame, I mean this smaller time frame, I know what I'm doing. I know what I'm doing. Now I can draw out my charts. Like look at I drew this. I think what did I draw this about yesterday before I went to bed. Now look at what's happening. If I wanted to take this trade, this would have been a winner for me because I would have taken a trade here and then terminated it here. Yeah, because of that triangle. Now, what am I waiting for? I'm waiting for this trade to break out of this channel that has been this consolidation and retest that level so that I can continue to sell it to the downside. I will be confident enough to continue selling this all the way down here. Why? Because I already see what the higher time frame is. I know that this is supposed to come here. Look at what I drew. I said it was supposed to come all the way up here and drop, which is what we are seeing. It came all the way up here, you see, and then so what am I expecting now in the market? I'm expecting this market to keep coming down and then retest, and then I'll take my trade to the downside. The higher time frame is the bomb, guys. Now another trade we're looking at is this one. Why did I take this one? Same principle. I looked at the supply zone, I looked at the demand zone. Now every time price got here, it dropped, got here, it dropped. So I'm expecting price to get here as well, to get order because it rejected. If it came here, jumped, came here, jumped, came here, jumped, came here, and jumped. So I'm expecting price to jump. The same thing has been doing here, jump into the supply zone, jump. I expect this to jump to the supply zone as well. That's my higher time frame. So when that happens, now I know that I still have about 200 pips remaining before this gets to that supply zone. So I could look for buys. I don't have a reason to be afraid to buy this market because I know that I'm waiting for that to go up. So if I drop down to my smaller time frame now, all I'm doing right now is just to see if I can find buy opportunities, you know. So I could decide to do maybe, but then for this one it may be a bit difficult because there's not a lot of data on the left for you to look for what's it called? What's it called now? um, support or resistant levels, So what you could do is probably just draw what they call trend lines. Just draw trend lines and see. That can help you, and draw trend lines. Can use that as your guide. So that can be your trading guide now, because since you don't have support and resistance, your trend line is your support and resistance as well. You see what price has been doing? Did you see that? See how price has been bouncing off the trend lines. So you could look for, right now is at the bottom, you could look for a buy now, waiting for it to go up. Yep. But right now, if it breaks that level, know that it's definitely coming down here. Yeah. You already have that level set up for you. You have another level here if you want to, but I strongly doubt this thing is going to keep coming down for now. I think it's going to keep going up until it gets to that level before coming down. Yep. So that is your trade for this gold. Your gold is, for now, I believe, is still going up. But now, is this set on stone? Is this foolproof? No, it isn't, because nobody has control of what the market is going to do. I can only give you this analysis. But the price can still do what price is going to do. So that's why you don't jump into the market anyhow. You need to get confirmations before jumping into the market. I did this analysis based on my experience, based on what I see the market doing, but price can still do what price is going to do. It's just what it is. Just what it is. I may be wrong. Nobody's 100% right all the time. Anyone that is 100% right all the time, please let me know who that person is. Then I will stop trading. I'll just join the person and start learning under the person's industry, or academy, or whatever they call it. Nobody is right 100% of the time. That's why you have to look at the charts for yourself. If somebody tells you to buy somewhere, ask yourself, why is the person saying it's a buy? What do you see that the person is saying? What can you see? Don't just jump into the market, no matter who the person is. They are wrong as well. Professional traders are wrong. George Soros, Warren Buffett, every one of them is wrong. Sometimes they lose billions because of trying to predict a move, and it doesn't happen. So if they can be wrong, these other people too can be wrong. I can be wrong. So that's why you need to look at the charts. That's why I'm here to be able to guide you to look at the charts, not to take signals. Don't take signals. This year shouldn't be a year for you to take signals. This year should be a year for you to look at the charts for yourself, to see if you can see what these guys that are sending out signals, this one here, 20 pips here, 15 pips here, 30 pips here, 100 pips here, 10 pips here, if you can see what these guys are seeing. Yep. Anyways, so I just thought I should just kind of just give you that few talk for this year. This year you should have a plan. Have a plan of how this year is going to run. How many books are you going to read this year? How many videos are you going to watch this year? How many, what kind of study you're going to, if you can take the time to do a lot of study. Look at that. Remember that story I told you about that guy that wants to go cut down a tree. He would first of all spend his time sharpening the axe head. If he doesn't get the axe sharp enough, he's going to spend the time trying to bring down the tree. He's going to expand more energy trying to bring down that tree. But if he spends the time sharpening the axe, you're going to find that he's going to spend lesser time and he's going to expand lesser energy to be able to bring down that tree. So it's the same thing this year. If you just joined the forex industry, it's a big industry, 5.3 trillion dollars industry per day. That's daily. So you can't be one of those that add money to the industry. You should look at how you can take money out of the industry, but the way you can do that is by studying, to understand how money is made in the industry. How to make money in the industry, how to understand the charts. So that's what you have to do. Spend time studying, and as you study, demo. As much practice makes perfection. Practice makes perfection. So you have to demo, you have to practice. Keep your money in your pocket, until you know what you're doing. If you don't know what you're doing yet, if you don't know if you're still asking, where do I take the trade? Where do I come out of the trade? You don't know what you're doing yet. Means you still need to learn. If you're still asking me where to put your stop loss, then you're not ready. Because by now everyone should know that your stop loss should be at your previous high, a few pips below your previous high, your previous low, and you must never your risk to reward ratio, you must never have your reward to be maybe like you have a 5 pips reward and you have a risk of 20 pips. What are you doing? Unless you're scalping and you're sure okay, if you lose 20 pips in the market, that's not going to kill your account. So I believe you should start putting things in place this year. Look at how you're going to trade smart, trade professionally. How you're going to become a professional trader. If you enter a trade at this level, know that your stop loss should be somewhere around here. Maybe you decide to take a trade at this level, buy at this level. Your stop loss will be the previous low, a few pips here. Or you can even take it a bit lower. But that means that your profit should be somewhere around here if you're putting your stop loss around here. If you enter here, your stop loss here, your profit should be somewhere around here or somewhere farther away. So meaning that you're making a 1 to 2 risk to reward, or 3 to 4, 3 or 1 to 3 risk to reward ratio. So look at your plan. Have a plan. What you're trading every day. What you made in the market, what you're going to make if the market goes goes in your favor, what you're going to lose, the market goes against you. So what you lost, what you made, all of that, put it in a plan. What strategy you used when you entered, why you entered. All of those things should be things that you put into consideration as you take a trade. So trade smart this year as we're coming into 2019. I know there's a lot of things, a lot of potential trades that are going to give us thousands of pounds and dollars in the market. They are them. I've seen them in the market, but some of us, you will have to put in the work to be able to get these things. You have to be able to put in the work to be able to get this money. Put in the work. Don't be lazy, because lazy people are the ones that chase people all over the place. They don't want to do. They want people to do the work for them. So don't be lazy. You have to be ready to put in the work. Arnold Schwarzenegger used to say something like, you can't say you don't have time. Come on, you have to create time. You will never have time to do anything, to invest in yourself if you don't put that time in. So put the time of investing in yourself. Don't make complaints, don't make excuses. Excuses is only given for when you don't do something right. Okay, the reason why I couldn't do it was because of the reason why I couldn't do it is because of, if you do something, if you do something right, you don't need to have excuse, So don't give excuses. Find the time to study, find the time to read the book, find the time to watch that video, you know, find the time to attend that session, whatever you have to do. But find the time to invest in yourself. The greatest thing you can do, greatest investment you can ever make is in yourself. Yep. So I just thought I'd throw that out there. This year is going to be great, but it starts with you, begins with you. It begins with what amount of work you're going to put in this industry. It begins with you. It begins with you. Just know that it begins with me. It begins with me. How much work am I going to do? How much investment am I going to make? So I'm here. Everybody's there in the platform. You can ask questions. Ask me if you want a one-on-one session with me. You can ask that. I have loads of video on the platforms, in the library. I'm going to make more. So all you need to do is just to go there, watch the ones that you watched before, take notes. Most importantly, take notes, write things down. you know Again, practice the strategies, practice them over and over and over again. Don't have 1,001 strategy, have just a few. Focus is a very powerful thing. Again, like I said, focus is a very powerful thing. So, because I know that this particular session has been, I've shot this session, so I'm not going to do this session, the weekly analysis on this session. I'm going to stop this session now, and then on the next session, I'm going to start a different session now and do the weekly analysis. So it's not too long, because I think I have a few traits that I'm going to look at for everyone. So thank you, guys. I wish you all a fantastic year as we go in this journey together. God bless you.